Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So today's the day I've been waiting a long time for. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you know that this summer we put in a 1/2 to 3/4 acre pond, and our primary purpose for this pond is recreation, for swimming in the summertime and ice skating in the wintertime. And I think today we've had enough cold weather over the past few days. It's been getting down about 15 degrees in the evenings and then about 25 during the day. So I think today we're gonna be able to cross one of those two off of our list. I don't think it's gonna be swimming. Before we do that, we've got to go ahead and check the ice for thickness, shovel it off, and then Zamboni it so it's nice and buttery smooth for ice skating. That's what we're doing today. Stick around. So how I check the ice for thickness is I don't have an ice auger, so I usually just take a chainsaw and cut a 6x6 or an 8x inch square in the ice, take a tape measure, stick it down there, and check from the bottom up to see what our thickness is. Honestly, I'm not too concerned because as you can see, our pond is still filling up. At the deepest point, it's probably only 3 or 4 feet deep. So even if I do fall through, it's not gonna be any, a life-threatening situation. I'll be wet from the knee down and I'll just go back up to the house, change my clothes, and get warmed up. So we're gonna go ahead and cut a hole in the ice and see what we are for thickness though. Oh boy, we're about 2 inches thick right now. But in order to make good ice, we got to get the snow off of here because the snow is going to act as an insulator and keep it from getting thicker. All right, so if this pond was full, there's no way I would attempt this in a million years, but because I know it's only 3 feet deep and the worst case scenario is I get my knees wet, I'm gonna go ahead and get this shoveled off, or at least try to, because that snow is gonna act as an insulator and it's gonna not allow these frigid cold 15-degree nights to freeze that ice any thicker. So worst case scenario, you guys get a good laugh out of this. Best case scenario, I get the ice shoveled off here and let the ice get a little bit thicker. Well, it's cracking, but we haven't fallen through yet. Water right here is only about 6 inches deep. It's going to crack a little bit more around the edges. That over there is where the spring head is, and I don't want to get anywhere near that because that ice is just going to get thinner and thinner the closer you get to that. So I'm actually just going to make a snowbank there so nobody goes over in that area and has a chance of falling through over there. Now this is the part where if I fall through, it's not going to be that much fun. This is going to be probably waist deep here. All right, guys, so that should not have worked. I fully expected and should have, rightfully so, gone into the pond. Do not attempt to do this at home. This was a calculated risk that I took in order to get that layer of insulation off of there so that it could freeze deeper. Like I said, I knew that the pond is only 3 feet deep. So again, if you're planning on screwing around on a pond this winter for ice skating and stuff, make sure you measure. Don't go on it unless you've got at least 4 inches thick for ice skating or walking on or doing whatever you're doing. But anyway, since we did go ahead and get that done and didn't fall through, we are now going to go ahead and Zamboni this, and I'll show you my setup for that. All right, so this is my system here. I've got 4 pieces of equipment. First thing is a 100-foot hose. Then I've got a portable power station. This will do up to 500 watts. A submersible 1/6 horsepower water pump. And then this DIY Zamboni that I made last year. Just a bunch of CPVC that I glued together. And then if you look, let's see, this side here, I drilled a bunch of holes in it to let the water come out. So I've got some garden hose adapters on this end. And another good tip, especially when it's this cold out and you're working with your hands, put quick connect fittings on all your stuff. And if you don't have these, you can get them on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. But it just makes hooking everything up so much easier. Instead of sitting here trying to wind this stuff up. Of course, it's frozen now, but there we go. There we go. So that's hooked up. Then we'll hook up this end. There we go. And then on the Zamboni, I put a towel just to disperse that water a little bit better. Now you could zip tie this on. I usually just fold it over like that. Let the towel get wet. It disperses the water evenly. And then looks like my hole has frozen back over again already. All right, let's plug this bad boy in. Pop this back in the water. Now I usually end up getting something to hold that hose up. So I've got a block of wood here so that doesn't sink all the way to the bottom and start dredging stuff up. Yep, just like that. Okay, now make sure all the kinks are out. And hit the go button. Put my gloves on. There we go. right, there we go. That is the first coat. We'll probably put 2 or 3 more on, but the key to this, because we've got really cold temperatures, it's about 15 degrees outside right now. We've got hoses, we've got pumps, we've got CPVC, is in between coats, you have to get that stuff back inside a garage or someplace warm so you don't start blowing fittings and things, because that water in a 3/4 inch garden hose will freeze really fast in 15 degrees. But we're gonna go ahead and let this set up before we put another coat on. It's not gonna take long at these temperatures. By the time I finished this side over here, that side was already starting to set up, but we do want it to hard freeze all the way through before we put a second coat on. So I can't imagine more than about a half an hour in between coats. But yeah, I got some buddies coming over tonight. I don't know if we're gonna be able to skate on it tonight just because we started with 2 inches thick. Now, like I said, we did get that snow off and we're starting to layer going up instead of just letting it freeze down. So we're actually gaining thickness quicker by Zamboniing it. But I still don't know if it's gonna be safe to have 3 or 4 guys out here ice skating this evening. But anyway, the first coat went well. We didn't fall through. That's a good day in my book. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up here just in case we don't do any skating this evening. If we do, I'll include that footage after this. If you guys enjoyed this one, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.